So I made a video only to find out that I turned it off. So we'll just start over again. My last video was a little over 6 minutes. And according to YouTube analytics, the average view time was 1 minute and 22 seconds. Who watches a video for 1 minute and 22 seconds? Why would you even bother to waste that much of your time if you don't want to watch the whole thing? And I don't understand people who don't watch an entire video. Don't bother to click on. Why would you? That makes no sense to me. When I started out, I had some longer videos because I didn't really care about the time. I didn't think about it, didn't watch it. And then you're supposed to do shorter videos. Should you do a 5-minute video? You shouldn't really go beyond 8 minutes or 9.4 minutes. Who cares? I don't. And I'm not going to care going forward. I'm back to doing whatever I want to do. If this video lasts for 35 minutes, it lasts for 35 minutes. I don't care. I pushed the button, and now I'm flapping my gums. Pipe I'm smoking is a big one. I don't even know if you can see it in this light because I'm in my car again. And the light is crap. So Jacopo can also be used not just for smoking purposes, but it can be used as a war club. In it is a cobblestone crumble cake, limited edition from last year. I think it's number 22. I can't completely remember. It's a light aromatic. It's very good. Very tasty. Let's talk about a subject that's been, a couple of subjects that's been done to death in the community, and we might as well beat it some more. And those are cellaring and aging. Mostly cellaring. Because if you cellar, age will naturally come with it, won't it? No. Next year, 2024, all year long, I will celebrate my 40th anniversary smoking a pipe. Smoking my pipe. 40 years. When I started smoking a pipe, there was no such talk as cellaring. There was no, so how many pounds did you put aside this year? McCullen's has got a new limited edition out. You going to buy a case of it? No. Nobody did that. I suppose there might have been a few people who lived very remotely who would stock up so that they didn't have to make as many trips, or might buy multiple pounds at a time because they were a very heavy smoker. But they weren't cellaring. They weren't thinking of, well, I'm going to lay this down, and then 10 years from now I'm going to revisit it and see how it is. Nobody did that. You smoked what you had, and you went and bought it when you needed it. If I had said to my uncle, how much tobacco do you have cellared? The first thing he would have said is, I don't own a cellar. The second thing he would have said is, what the hell are you talking about? Well, how much tobacco do you have, Uncle? And he would have shown me a pouch, or he would have pointed to a half-empty glass jar on the bookcase. That's how much tobacco he had. He smoked it, and then when he was done, he went and bought more. When I began smoking, I did the same thing, and I did it for a long, long, long time. There was no stocking up. If I wanted a tin, the tins were there. Yeah, I mean, I smoked Esoterica Penzance, a good tobacco, but I'll be blunt, it's an overrated tobacco. Its mystique lies in the fact that you cannot immediately get it. It was always had periods of not being available. All the esotericas were like that. But they would be available, and then you'd buy it, and you bought it cheap. Cheap. St. Bruno was $3.99, a 50-gram tin, and they were the little rectangle tins, which I liked. They were the best. And then they went up to $4.99. And then at a certain point, Imperial Tobacco withdrew all of their products, and I'll go over that in another video. Back to Cellaring. Everyone you would talk to in a tobacco shop who was a pipe smoker, nobody was going on about this stuff. In hindsight, is there certain things I wish I had stockpiled? Maybe. Well, wouldn't matter because I'd still be out of it, because I smoke my favorite tobaccos until there's nothing left of it. I don't save it. I don't put it aside and pull the jar out and say, oh, my precious, my precious. I don't do any of that. Tobacco was meant to be smoked. Pipes are meant to be smoked. You can do whatever you want to do. I don't criticize other people for what they do. But for me, I could be dead tomorrow. I could be dead tonight. I am not going to leave a favorite tobacco sitting in its tin unsealed in the cellar, which is nothing more than an old closet or a Rubbermaid container under the bed, because, well, you know, the manufacturer suggests that it's best at 10 to 15 years. And that's another thing, and I'll tell you straight up. Companies which play the game of here's our new tobacco, here's our Virginia, and our this and our that, and it's best enjoyed at 10 to 15 years, that's all bunk. That is marketing 101. That also didn't exist way back when I started smoking. There was none of that talk about, oh, the manufacturer represents. If a manufacturer puts out a tobacco that's not ready to be smoked the moment you buy it, then that blend isn't worth buying. Oh yeah, I said it. I went there. I got controversial. And people are just going to, their old minds are just going to blow up. They're going to say, who can you possibly be talking about? We all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Cornell and Deal. They're huge with this. I have a couple of their blends that they say, well, you know, it should be 10 to 15 years. Who cares? I pop the 10 when I get it, and I smoke it. If I like it, I get it again. If I don't like it, I ain't waiting 15 years to see. If it was crap when I opened the 10 the first time when it was fresh, it'll be crap in 10 to 15 years. I have tobacco that's old. Very old. That isn't because I intentionally decided to age it. It's because I didn't get around to smoking it. I found something else I liked better. I put it aside. I forgot about it because, you know, at a certain point, our brains turn to Swiss cheese, and we don't always remember what we had. We don't remember to look in the corner of the closet and see that there's 3 jars of Hearth and Home anniversary cake. Yeah, I have anniversary cake from Hearth and Home, a very nice blend. That's it's probably 15 years old. There's probably a pound of it or close to it. I didn't keep it that long because I was waiting to see what it became. I will tell you what it became. When it was new, it was a beautiful reddish brown. Now it is a deep, dark, almost black in color. And it does not taste any better than it did in the beginning. It may not actually taste as good, but it definitely doesn't taste any better. It didn't improve it, but I didn't do it on purpose. I have probably, I don't know, 300, 400 grams of Limerick, Treasures of Ireland brand, because I thought I liked it, because I did like it, and then when prices were about to go up because there was a big tax scare back around 2006 or whatever, I bought a 500-gram package, and then when it was available, and it was always scarce, but you could get that for $29 for 500 grams. During that same order, my last 8-ounce package of Esoterica Penzance was in the same order. It was $26.99 for 8 ounces. $26.99 for 8 ounces. And I only bought the extra 8 ounces to have on hand because there was a lot of talk of taxes coming, bigger taxes. Taxes did come, they went up, but they didn't go up to the degree that they said they were looking at doing. So that's why I had that put in. My favorite tobacco of all time, without question. I just smoked so much of it, it isn't funny. Well, actually, it is funny. I loved it. And that was by McClelland's. McClelland's Beacon. In my opinion, the perfect vapor. Absolutely incredible. The perfect balance of Virginia and Perique. That was at one of the club blends that they did, or it was for the UPCC, the Pipe Collectors Club. I loved that stuff. And I smoked it and smoked it and smoked it. It was always sitting beside me. There was always an open tin. I didn't have to jar it because I smoked it so quickly. It didn't need a jar. I just popped the tin and went to town on it. And every time I made a tobacco order, extra tins of Beacon went in because I knew I was going to smoke it. Not because I was looking to age it. And boy, oh boy, do I wish I had had more tins when McClelland's bit the dust. I sure do. But who the hell knew McClelland's was going to bite the dust? Other than Mike and Mary McNeil, nobody can give a shadow of knowledge that they were getting ready to go, poop, we're done. I noticed that suddenly certain things weren't available, but big deal. There was a momentary interruption in shipment, but that wasn't it. They were simply biting the dust. Okay, well, that's a sad thing. It's a big loss. I wish that they were still in business, but they're not. And I got over it. Yeah, I got over it. I don't have any Beacon left. I smoked that up a long time ago, and I didn't smoke it a little bit at a time either. I smoked it at my same pace. I've got a couple of cans of Christmas cheer, or at least one that's unopened. I don't really care. Christmas cheer is, I love McClelland. They're for Masters of Virginia. The Christmas cheer is among their most overrated of their Virginias. Period. Period. And that goes back to the beginning in '94. So, sorry, you know, if that offends anyone. But it just, for me, it's just not that, it's okay. It's okay. And I know Virginia. I love Virginia. I smoke a lot of Virginias. Did I say I smoke a lot of Virginias? Because I do smoke a lot of Virginias. I don't know. My tobacco's gone out, which is fine. Mm. This pipe is not a clincher, but who cares? I'm not really a big clincher anyway. I never have been. So anyway, cellaring. You know, do I have a lot more tobacco right now than I really would like to have? Yeah, I really do. I don't like spending money that I really don't have to spend, and I don't. I'm as poor as a church mouse. I'm so poor I can't afford to pay attention. But these days, I do understand why people buy up what they can, when they can. Because we don't know when the next big price increase is going to come, when the next radical tax increase is going to come. I'm not worried about tobacco going away, but it's going to be outlawed, because it isn't. It's a good tax revenue, and trust me, it's not going to be outlawed. It's going nowhere except right in our pipe and in the cigarettes and in our cigars. But the price can be pushed to insane limits until it is finally only a rich man's everyday event or a working man and middle class man's once in a while treat. And what a crock that would be, wouldn't it? And while we're on the subject, as far as taxes are concerned, if you're of a mind that that's a Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative thing, I'm here to tell you, it's not. It's not. Both sides of the political spectrum love to stick it to smokers. Drinkers too, but really smokers. They love it. Love it. Big time. Once upon a time, I worked in the premium tobacco industry. And I live in a state that is controlled by a supermajority in the legislature of conservatives. Supermajority. Has been since Moses was in short pants. And they love to raise taxes. When it comes to tobacco, you had it. Back in the 90s, there was a rumor getting ready to be another tax increase. At that time, I was very politically active. And you'd be surprised to know just how active and for who. But this very senior senator of the state legislature, I said, hey, you got to do something about this. This is ridiculous. Yet another tax increase in excise. There was just one 2 years ago. And he smiled. He always smiled. In fact, I think his smile was permanently put on by a plastic surgeon. And he looked at me and he said, "Get over it." We said, "There is going to be an increase." And he said, "There'll be another one after that, and after that, and after that." He says, "We're going to keep on raising it." And he said, "You don't have any friends left in the legislature. We love to raise taxes on excise. Tobacco is easy because we don't pay a price at the polls." There you go. And they don't. Didn't then, don't now, never will, never had, blah, 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 blah. Well, I seriously doubt that anyone is watching at this point. We're at 21 minutes and 22 seconds. Aging, I'll just say this on the subject of aging. Can a Virginia or a dominant Virginia forward like a vapor, those blends, can they get a little age on them and, 2 years or so, 3 years? They smooth out the edges. Yes, they do. And if you can wait that long to smoke it, that's great. I can't wait that long. Number one, I bought it to smoke it, if I love it. I'll never be able to tell you if HH Pure Virginia by McBaron, I'll never be able to tell you what it tastes like in 3 years after I have it, because the second I get it, I smoke it. I smoke it every day. If it's something you enjoy doing, then by all means, age it. But tomorrow is promised to nobody. And none of us are getting out of this alive. So I live for today. Well, this is going to take forever to upload. It would take 10 days just to get the signal shoved up the chute. By the way, I'm at 178 subscribers now, and I appreciate everyone who has subscribed to me. It's been a very long haul. I'm fascinated by the number of people who start a channel and 2 days later have 300 subscribers or 400 subscribers. And I mean that, 2 days later. I'm not talking little bit. Most of my new subscribers who did not show up, by the way, in my such and such is now a subscriber. Very few names actually showed up. But I can track and see that most of the people who have become subscribed this year because of my art videos. So wherever you're subscribed, I thank you. And I would do shout outs right now. except I can't remember anybody. I really can't. I no longer retain all of that stuff. I've tried to share people's things in my community section, which I do use my community section. I use my community section a lot. I share a lot of musics, lots of things that I like. I highly recommend that you do check out Yanez and Sylvia, Pipe and Tobacco and Vintage Pipe Nightmares. They do their 20-minute pipe show every week. It's wonderful. I highly recommend it. If you have not checked it out, you need to check it out. You need to support Randy, SMR, who's a wonderful ambassador for the YTPC. Check out the Devious Piper, who is new. Sorry, Bob, I'm going to get this wrong. Trucker Bob. He's in England, and right now he's got that great series going because he and his wife are on vacation, and they're doing the canal boat gig, which is a lot of fun to watch. I've always been fascinated by canal boats, particularly when I found out that Ian Walker of Northern Briars, he and his wife live on a canal boat, and his workshop is on that canal boat. So that's been very entertaining. Check him out. Stop by and see Mark at Welsh Piper. Great guy, always positive about the community, always trying to be nice to people, always trying to catch people up to date. Check him out. All right, coming up on 30 minutes. I could not be happier and to see that kind of time. Don't watch it all at once. Break it up. Don't break it up. Don't watch it. Can't wait for the analytics. Your 28-minute video had an average view time of 2.1 minutes. Oh, check out Smoking in My Car, Jamie. He's a great channel. Goodbye.